Hello, my dear viewers and the rest of the listeners. Welcome for this presentation in which I am speaking about your self-esteem determines your destiny. Your self-esteem determines your destiny. My name is Meme JM, or you can simply call me Emily Swap. What is self-esteem? Self-esteem is your degree of perception and opinion that you have about yourself in terms of your beliefs, your abilities, your emotions and feelings, your thoughts, and how you value yourself, thus affecting how you see yourself and everything that you do in either a positive or a negative manner. It is therefore your overall evaluation or appraisal of your own worth that tells you whether you are good enough to do something or achieve something. You can therefore possess either low or high self-esteem based on whether you are feeling good enough to do or achieve something or not. If you have a high self-esteem, you feel valued, appreciated, and accepted by others. You feel worthy of being treated with fairness and respect. You accept and respect yourself. You appreciate and value yourself. You believe in yourself regardless of your failures. You think positively about yourself. You see your own good qualities. You take pride in whatever that you do, regardless of the level of your achievement. You make wise and sober decisions that can have a positive value to your life. You recognize your strengths and utilize them to lead a positive life. You are ready and willing to try out new things and dive into new opportunities without fear of failure. You are kind to yourself and you are ready to forgive yourself when you make a mistake. You view your mistakes as lessons to be learned and apply the knowledge and experience gained to face the future in a better way. You speak positively about yourself and you encourage yourself through positive thoughts always. You take good care of yourself and you are healthy. You don't allow other people to cross your boundaries without your consent. However, if you have low self-esteem, you always think negative about yourself. You feel inadequate, inferior, or not deserving of good things. You focus on your mistakes and your failures. You criticize yourself and are hard on yourself. You always doubt your abilities. You feel insecure wherever you are, regardless of your status. You always doubt your abilities, achievements, or actions. You just rely on other people's opinions for approval, and you treat whatever they say about you as the gospel truth without questioning. You doubt your looks, your body, your gender, amongst the others. You lack motivation to do anything without being pushed. You always complain about anything and everything without formulating solutions. You don't trust anybody or entrust anyone with any responsibility unless you are present. You always feel bad about everything. You are always very hard on yourself to achieve the very best without any slight mistakes. You think too much about the mistake that you did without forgiving yourself. You deny yourself basic needs and basic rights for the sake of proving a point. You don't forgive anyone for whatever he or she might have done against you. You fear to try anything or explore any new opportunities just because you are fearing to fail or experience what you might have experienced before. You always think that you are not good enough like someone else, and thus you always feel inferior whenever you are around that person. You always feel inferior to your friends and peers by always feeling that they are better than you. You always speak negative about yourself and you view yourself always from the negative aspect. You continuously blame yourself for whatever that happened or is happening. You always believe in luck and you view achievements just as a product of luck, even when you have achieved something through hard work and through smart work. You do not tolerate or work with those that may criticize you or air opposing opinions or views, but only interact and work closely with only those that do not air opposing opinions and those that will always say yes to everything. You always think that you are being targeted or attacked whenever any negative comment is made, regardless of who else may be present. You always think that whenever two people are talking silently, while you are around, the dialogue is purely about you. You are always defensive without even giving room to other people to conclude their statements or their remarks. You rarely accept your mistakes, but you try to justify yourself even when you are wrong. You are always envious and jealous of those that seems to be progressing well than you, and you are thus ready to do anything to bar such people from progressing in what they are doing or from holding possessions just because of fear of being overrun or replaced by them. You do not accept the compliments because you always think that those that are complimenting you are simply being sarcastic and are not genuine. You always jump into negative conclusions on any matter without any evidence, and you always doubt the status of others' honesty. You focus on the number of times that you have failed instead of focusing on your achievements. You think of yourself as defective and not deserving good things. You allow other people to treat you poorly just for the sake of you pleasing them. You doubt your ability to do well or succeed at things. Therefore, if you have low self-esteem, you may not be able to move past your mistakes or challenges. You may not be able to stand up for your rights. You may not be able to become what you want. In other words, you become unable to accomplish any objective. If you have low self-esteem, you may suffer from depression and such other illnesses. You become unable to cope with life challenges, and you even isolate yourself from the rest. You are not able to undertake any activity successfully. If you have low self-esteem, you are not able to develop a growth mindset. When you have low self-esteem, you are not able to accomplish any goal in life. When you have low self-esteem, you get misused and you live in toxic relationships. If you have low self-esteem, You never try anything just because of fear to experience challenges. If you have low self-esteem, you overwork yourself while chasing perfection, which may never be realized. You don't engage in social activities because you fear to be negatively judged. You become unable to cope with a challenging event, and you may even think of taking your life so as not to experience the realities of life. If you have low self-esteem, my dear viewers and my dear listeners, you neglect yourself and you abuse drugs and other substances that endanger your life while trying to escape from reality. You can thus improve on your self-esteem because you are able so that you can be able to lead a comfortable life, a rewarding life, and a fulfilling life by doing the following. Number one, always thinking and speaking positively about yourself because negative thoughts or talks about yourself make you even forget about your many strengths. Always remember that in as much as you might not have done everything the way you would have wanted, and in as much as you might not be the way you think, or others say you should be, there are very many other things and aspects that you are very good at. So, avoid criticizing yourself to others, but just learn from your mistakes in order to shape your subsequent actions. Therefore, whenever you find yourself being entangled in negative self-thoughts or beliefs, challenge them and counter them with the positive aspects of the same. Number two is developing the habit of talking positively to yourself, just as you would have done to someone else through such statements as, I am fearfully and wonderfully made. I have what it takes to be the best, regardless of my current status. If others have made it in their own areas, I can also make it in my area. I have the best looks in the world. Among such other positive comments, my dear viewers and my dear listeners. Number three, never ever try to compare yourself with anybody because you cannot be that other person. After all, if you were to be a true replica of the other person, you could just be that person, and that it is him or her who could be alive and not you. Therefore, whenever you find yourself trying to compare yourself with another person, just remind yourself that each human being, you included, is meant to run his or her own race, and you cannot run another person's race. So, as long as you have done or is doing your level best in whatever aspect, be contented with what you have done, what you have, and how you are, without ever thinking or wishing that you should have been like someone else. After all, even if you keep on wishing and striving to be like someone else, you will always just get disappointed because no one can ever be like another person, not even you. Number four is stopping to seek and strive for perfection, but always striving to do your level best without focusing too much on your weaknesses or your mistakes. Remember that there is no human being who is perfect, and every human being, you included, is a weak vessel that just strives to avoid and rectify mistakes. Therefore, if at any time you find yourself concentrating too much on your weaknesses or your flaws, challenge your thoughts and think about how you can gain positively from those flaws. Always differentiate between those mistakes, flaws, or weaknesses that you can work on to rectify them, and those that you have no way or no ability to change. If you realize that there are some issues or some things that are beyond your ability or are completely impossible to rectify, regardless of the approach you might apply, my dear viewers and my dear listeners, just accept them just as they are and come up with ways of utilizing them for your gain and accept yourself just as you are. Number 5, whereas it is always good to think big and dream big, never set for yourself goals or objectives or targets that you know very well that they are extremely beyond your ability. This is because if you strive to achieve such enormous targets, you may get discouraged and undermine yourself when you realize that you are not achieving them. Always remember that your failure to achieve your set target, yet you have done your level best. You have done the best you could. That does not mean that you are incapable or incompetent, but it simply means that you didn't break down your objective into small and successive achievable targets that could lead you into achieving that target, or you used the wrong approach to achieve your goals. It is thus always good for you to always set for yourself achievable targets that you can be able to achieve, as they cumulatively lead you into accomplishing huge and enormous targets. Remember that the many smaller targets or goals that you set for yourself and accomplish them successfully, the more the knowledge and experience you gain that you can utilize to handle tougher and greater goals. Therefore, always set for yourself manageable goals without competing with anyone else. Number 6, never be too busy to forget to take care of yourself in terms of grooming, physical outlook, your physique, your diet, amongst such other aspects of your life. Always remember that when you dress well, when you groom well, when you eat well, when you sleep adequately, and carry out other tasks that improve on your various personal aspects, you not only get appreciated by others, but you also feel good about yourself. Such positive feelings about yourself that are brought about by how you take care of yourself are very rewarding to your inner and outer self. Therefore, never be too busy to forget taking care of yourself. Number 7 is executing physical exercises on daily basis, regardless of how long or brief such exercises may be, is extremely good for making you develop a positive feeling about yourself. Therefore, always ensure that you engage in physical exercises on daily basis, regardless of their duration or type, because they trigger endorphin hormone that makes you feel good about yourself and enable you to become physically and mentally fit. It is very good to engage on a game that you enjoy most because it will always serve you and serve as your hobby, while at the same time, it will be making you become mentally and physically fit and help you develop a sense of achievement. Number 8, always celebrate your achievements regardless of how small they may be to you or appear to others. Whenever you do something good, my dear viewer and my dear listener, or whenever you accomplish a certain task, cheer yourself up and reward yourself. Don't always be waiting for people to cheer you up or reward you. Cheer yourself up and reward yourself. Even when other people might not realize or recognize your achievement, congratulate yourself for it and reward yourself in a way that you best know how. For as long as that reward does not harm you, does not harm others, or endanger your environment. Number 9, avoid being in a company of an individual or individuals who do or say things that make you feel inferior or useless, but be in a company that is able to recognize your achievements and support you in your endeavors. A good company should be one that encourages you, while at the same time correcting you positively when you make a mistake without pinning you down. Therefore, always make time to be with the people that appreciate you just as you are and that are ready to positively correct you and support you to go ahead and do that which you love to do most. Avoid those that celebrate you on your failures, those that constantly remind you of your past mistakes, those that make you fun of your weaknesses or make you feel inadequate and incompetent. Number 10 is countering any ill or negative comments about yourself by replacing them with positive comments silently in your heart. For example, if someone tells you you are a dog, you can counter that type of a statement with such a statement like this. Tell the person, even in your heart, thank you for realizing that I can protect you from every danger just as your dog does. I repeat, if someone tells you, for example, you are a dog, counter that statement in your heart, or even tell him or her, thank you, my dear brother, thank you, my dear sister, for realizing that I can protect you from every danger just as a dog does. Wow, what a wonderful statement, my dear viewer. What a wonderful comment, my dear viewer and my dear listener. On the other hand, if someone tells you that you are ugly, very ugly, and in fact, nobody can love you, you can respond like this. Thank you for realizing that I also need to be loved as a unique person with a unique look which differentiates me from the rest of the human beings, from the rest of the creatures that would also seek to be loved. Mhm. Great. Number 11 is avoiding focusing too much or dwelling on things that you cannot change. But think about how you can take advantage of what you cannot change so that you can be able to lead a better life. For example, if you are of short stature, what people call a dwarf, you can be, you cannot be able to alter your height regardless of how much you try or regardless of how much you may worry about it. Therefore, the only justice that you can administer to yourself is to accept your height. That's the truth. And take advantage of it to improve your standard of life. Another example is this. If somebody tells you that he or she heard about something negative about you from somebody, instead of reacting and feeling too much depressed about it, you can just remind yourself that there is a lot that many people say about you, and you don't do anything about it just because you don't even hear what they say or you have never heard about it. Therefore, my dear viewer and my dear listener, what you have been told should never possess your mind and deprive you of your happiness just because you have heard about it. After all, you could not feel anything if you didn't know about it. So, always focus on what you can be able to change and what is within your ability or your mandate. And then just let what you cannot change remain just as it is without letting you or without letting it deprive you of your happiness. Therefore, let your attention always be on what you can change and try what you can to make it happen. Number 12 is avoiding doing things that deprive you of your happiness, but only do that which makes you happy. The greatest injustice, my dear viewer and my dear listener, that you can ever administer on yourself is to wake up every day to do what you do not like. This is because if you spend your time doing what you love and what makes you happy, you will be empowered to do more and achieve more in a very easy way. However, if you do what you do not love or like doing, either because of fear or because of other reasons, you will never enjoy what you do. You may never accomplish anything, or you may end up suffering from depression and other similar diseases or complications. So, even if it is your job that makes you unhappy, leave it and do what you love doing, regardless of what people might say. In addition, and engage yourself in doing something that you love and that which makes you relax anytime you find yourself developing low perception about your work, acts, or routines, such as by writing down your feelings, playing an instrument that you love, reading a motivational book, among such other actions, including listening to the videos in Emily Swap Life Skills YouTube channel, just as you are doing. Congratulations! Number 13 is always helping or assisting others in areas where they are stuck. Because when you help them go through whatever they are going through successfully, you also develop a sense of accomplishment and you also feel good and you feel important and you feel that you are important. When you hear comments like, if it was not you, I would not have made it today. Wow! After you have helped a person, you feel a sense of happiness. You feel a sense of being valued, just like I am feeling as I speak this important message to you, my dear viewer and my dear listener. And I will be very encouraged if you subscribe to this channel, Emily Swap Life Skills YouTube channel, if you have not, because I am feeling good, for I am helping somebody like you, my dear viewer and my dear listener. And this makes you feel good about yourself, just as I'm feeling good as I speak this important life-changing message to you, my dear viewer and my dear listener. Number 14 is helping or avoiding being a person that just does things, responds positively to requests, and participates in activities, oh, purely for the sake of pleasing other people or for the sake of receiving accolades at the expense of your personal health and your welfare. This is because if you put others' interests before yours, or you do to others all what they would like you to do without demanding about yourself, you will be bound to be overwhelmed and you will fail to cater for your own needs or accomplish your own objectives. When you fail to meet your targets and neglect your personal health, the consequences will make you lose your self-esteem. Therefore, in as much as you may be helpful to others, in as much as it is going to help others, please, my dear viewer and my dear listener, make sure that you don't tie your self-worth to how much you help others. And thus, you should know the boundaries to helping others and taking care of yourself. After all, if you don't take care of yourself, if you become sick because you have failed to take care of yourself, if you die because you have failed to take care of yourself, as you devote yourself 100% to helping others, who will be there to offer that good offer that you have been offering to the people? Number 15 is always working to improve on yourself by improving on your knowledge and your skills through tasks such as reading, advancing on your studies in the line of your work, doing adequate revision and practice before making presentations, amongst other such self-improvement and self-development tasks. This is because once you do something and emerge as the best due to practice, you develop a sense of accomplishment and you feel that you are the header or the others follow. Number 16 is writing down all the things that you admire or like about yourself, your strengths and your accomplishments, your gifts and talents. Whenever you feel as if you are developing low opinion about yourself or you are feeling inadequate. You can also write down what is making you feel as if you are a loser or a person of no value and compare the two lists. You will definitely realize that you have very many better qualities and achievements than what you thought. Number 17 is not allowing your past mistakes or failures hinder you from progressing forward. Always forgive yourself for whatever that did not go on well with you in the past, and allow those negative experiences to be left behind you without allowing them to cloud your present time or to cloud your future. So, always forgive yourself and others for whatever that you did to yourself, or whatever that did not go on well, or whatever that you did not do, or whatever that they did to you. Then shake the past dust and work on your way forward. If you continue to dwell on your past mistakes, my dear viewer and my dear listener, or actions, yet you cannot reverse the same, those negative thoughts are bound to affect your level of acceptance and make you become unable to move ahead. Therefore, ensure that you always relate with yourself well and be determined to forgive yourself and to forge ahead as a new being that has learned from past mistakes. Number 18 is establishing for yourself clear boundaries for your relationships that are aligned to your values, both at the personal level and in your professional life, and let everyone know very well and very clearly what you like and what you hate. This is because if you do not establish clear boundaries for yourself, other people will cross over and take advantage of you, thus leaving you as an empty shell that will be at the mercy of others for survival. So, always be ready to freely express yourself and declare your stand by being ready to say no to what may be detrimental to you and say yes to that which is valuable to your life. You can listen to the video by the title, Be Assertive, Calmly Stand Up for Your Rights, posted in Emily Swap Life Skills YouTube channel so that you can learn on how to be assertive. Number 19 is reading materials, listening to and watching videos that empower you, inspire you, motivate you, and encourage you to be the best that you can, and that remind you that you are special and important, such as those videos posted in Emily Swap Life Skills YouTube channel. Avoid reading or listening to messages that only discourage you, undermine you, and make you feel as if you are the least remnant of the earth, because you are not. So, empower yourself with information that help you to positively rediscover yourself and help you develop the state of self-worth, and that make you feel proud of yourself and your accomplishments, regardless of how small they may seem to others. Number 20, always having hope that everything will be well and that you will be able to come out of any situation, regardless of the kind and level of challenges that you may be experiencing, even if you might not have been able to live up to your expectations in the past. Number 20, instead of dwelling on your past mistakes or experiences, bounce back. Bounce back to your vision and mission. Bounce back Bounce back to your previous direction. Bounce back to that vision and that mission that you had, to that goal, that target that you wanted before, from where you might have lost track, and move on. Number 21, always remind yourself that as a human being, you will always pass through various seasons and situations. Sometimes or some situations may make you feel bad, while others will make you feel happy. Some situations may make you feel inadequate, while others will make you feel like a conqueror. However, at all times, remember that you do not have to be feeling good about yourself or your achievements every time, but you should not allow the negative imaginations or the negative feelings take over your joy and take over your focus. So, if you are in a situation where you are feeling down or overwhelmed, just give yourself a short break from the norm to meditate on the way forward and to re-energize yourself so that you can be able to proceed with your normal activities. Number 22 is seeking for professional advice, such as by visiting a psychotherapist or a professional counselor who can help you to have a clear understanding of what you may be passing through, what makes you feel the way you are feeling, and what you can do to improve on your perception and opinion about yourself or others. This is because once you are able to realize the consequences of your behavior, you will be able to do what can enable you appreciate yourself and value yourself more. You can always, or you can also be confining your issues to someone that you can trust. Number 23 is stopping to worry about the future, but you face the present with confidence as you work towards having a bright future. Remember that you have not yet reached the future, and anything can change when or before you reach that envisaged future. For that reason, now that you are living, accept that you have no control of the future in as much as you are planning for it, and thus keep your mind more focused on the current issues. Do not worry about what you have not yet seen, because that is just an imagination that may not be correct, and that may never happen. Number 24 is always creating some time outside your daily routine to meditate or to reflect about your life. Think about your thinking and think of what makes you think or feel the way you are feeling about yourself. During that session of meditation, think of the many things you have been able to do since when you were young up to this moment, and you applaud yourself for those achievements, regardless of what they may be. During that session of meditation, think about what is making you feel inferior, feel useless, and incompetent, and compare that with what is good, what you did, which was positive, and what you have been able to do. And for sure, you are going to realize that you are not useless after all. Number 25 is not allowing your challenges to pin you down or intimidate you into thinking that you are useless. Avoid complaining every time about what you are passing through, and always thinking about what you can do to either deal with the situation, alter the situation, or just manage the situation. Always remember that you are not the only person who is facing problems, because even other people are passing through certain challenges. Remember that by facing challenges, that does not mean that you are a lesser person, and thus you should take them positively, learn from them, and come up with a way forward. You are a superior being than your problems, and you will for sure always surmount them if you think positively and if you remain focused without losing hope. You can listen to the video posted in Emily Swap Life Skills YouTube channel by the title, Your Problems, Their Description, Solutions and Benefits, so as to gain skills on how to effectively handle problems so that they don't make you feel intimidated or useless. In conclusion, always remember that you are who you think you are, and you can only become what you think you can become. If you always perceive yourself as an inferior and useless person, you will not only lead a miserable life, but you may not even be able to live long. However, if you perceive yourself as an important achiever who is destined to thrive and prosper in this life, for sure, you will lead a happy life and thrive in whatever that you plan to do. Therefore, always place a high positive value to yourself and always remind yourself that you are the best, and for sure, you will be the best regardless of the degree of your achievement. Congratulations, my dear viewer and my dear listener, for listening to this video on self-esteem. To easily access more life skills, motivation, and inspirational resources from this Emily Swap Life Skills YouTube channel, click on subscribe button below this video if it is not currently reading as subscribed. You can also access various free resources in ICT or computer field by searching for and subscribing to Emily Swap ICT YouTube channel if it is not already reading as subscribed. For any further suggestions, corrections, or queries in relation to this video or any other video posted in any of the two YouTube channels, Emily Swap Life Skills or Emily Swap ICT, kindly feel free to write it to us through the email emilyswap@gmail.com. Thank you very much for listening to me, and may God bless you. Thank you.